Morning, everyone. Well, I watched this movie over the weekend. It might go a little long, so if you don't feel like hearing the story of it, I'm going to tell the story of it. Tune out now, and I'll just thank you for the view right now. It was called The Gathering. It had Reese Witherspoon in it. And it starts out, this woman's driving along with her kid, and she looks back to look at the kid because he's thumping the back of her chair. She looks forward, bang, she runs into Reese. It's back in 2002. Reese's eyes still kind of bugged out of her head, you know, like Eric's new girlfriend on Entourage, like a little monkey, those little monkeys with the bug eyes. Anyway, she's on her way to this town that this woman lives in. And it so happens this woman who hits her, by the way, she comes through the accident, Reese does, with no problem at all. There's just a couple of bangs and a couple of cuts and scrapes, which isn't unusual when you hear what happens. And but she has amnesia. She can't remember where she came from or why she's there or anything like that. Woman takes her into her home, and as I was saying, the wife's husband is like an archaeology guy, but for theologians, for, you know, for religious artifacts and things like that. Now, in the local area, they uncovered this church that was buried 2,000 or some odd years ago, right? And it goes down there, and it's this like pit, and you see they're in the carvings in the wall, these different people looking, and what would have been the altar where the crucifix would be is turned around the other way, so the crucifix is facing these people looking at it. These people are standing there watching the crucifix. So it goes back to the woman's taking the Reese Witherspoon in, and Reese is seeing all these strange things, like she's seeing horrific images and mirrors and things like that. But she's going through the town, she's also seeing people that seem to recognize her and are kind of like chasing her down, you know. And then she meets this one nice fellow, nice to her, you know, and she gets to know him. And all this time they're uncovering these masks, these sculptures in the wall. Lo and behold, it comes to near the end of the thing, and she's kind of figured out that she's found these pictures of the sculptures, and she says that these are the people that I've been seeing around town, the carvings in the wall. And it ends up with one of the sculptures is that of Reese herself. And she's been sent back. These people go to gather, that's why it's called The Gathering. They gather at all of these horrific things that happen all over the world, all through time. One of them being the crucifixion of Jesus. Right? So it's kind of eerie. They pan in on the sculpture of her face, and she's come back, and she gets to go on because she righted a wrong. She saves the little boy from being murdered and being the next horrible thing that these people would gather to see. So she gets when they all show up in alignment as they would have been in the sculpture and the gathering, the sculpture in front of the crucifix, her ghost disappears, but then it shows up at the end of the child's bed and she explains to the child what happened. And that's pretty much the end of the movie. If you stuck around for it, I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed the film. And if you see it, it's from 2002. It's called The Gathering. It's got Reese Witherspoon in it. I think you'll enjoy it. Thank you for your participation. I'll catch you back on the tube.